Okay guys, so this is the Samsung Galaxy A05s, and I have to say this is one of the best phones that I've ever used. The reason I'm saying it's the best, it's because of the internal components, the speed, the camera, and the price, and you might be shocked after finding out the price of this device. Design-wise though, it resembles Samsung's iconic look, especially on the camera section, although it's plastic on the back and the frames, but glass on the front, but not Gorilla Glass, which means the frame and the back might be durable, but the screen is not. I recommend you get a case and a screen protector for this device. The display is a solid one. It has a 1080p IPS LCD display with a 90Hz refresh rate, but I can't find an option to turn it to 60Hz to save my battery. The bezels are quite huge, and I don't like the U-shaped notch which covers the 13-megapixel front-facing camera. The chin is quite acceptable, but I wish it had a hole punch cutout like some phones on this price point. And guys, my hands are huge. It would have to take effort just to reach the corners. And my hands are really huge compared to this device, which means you might want to get a smaller phone. On the bottom we have a headphone jack, a mic, a USB-C port, and the only speaker. On the left side we have the SIM slot and the micro SD card slot. On the top we have the noise cancelling mic. On the back we have the triple camera setup. And on the right hand side we have the power button / fingerprint scanner and the volume rockers. In the box you get a USB-C to C cable, a useless user manual, a SIM ejector tool, and that's it. All in this tiny thin box, which is quite a disappointment. But if you're lucky enough, you might get it in this bigger box where you might get a USB-C charging brick. It has 64GB of storage and 4GB of RAM, but you might get it with 128GB of storage and 6GB of RAM. It has a Snapdragon 680 chipset, which is quite fast, I'm not gonna lie. And this is the same chipset that was in the Samsung Galaxy A23. It might be old, but it's still gold. You can pretty much do heavy multitasking with this smartphone, and the 90Hz refresh rate will make it faster than it already is. And what I like about this device is that it doesn't overheat no matter what you throw at it. It does overheat a little bit when you connect it to the internet, but after an hour or two it will be back to normal. Which means the Snapdragon 680 was a great choice for this device. Even when you're gaming, I played Subway Surfers for about 3 hours and it lost 12% of battery. And playing heavy games like Truckers of Europe 3, it doesn't even overheat. I mean, it does get hot, but not to a point where you actually get worried. And when I was done playing the game, it was still left with 40% of battery life remaining. Out of the box, it runs on Android 13 based on One UI 5.1 Core Edition. And also, it is upgradable to Android 14 and I think Android 15 and Android 16, but I don't know. The camera does not disappoint. It has a 50-megapixel main lens, a 2-megapixel macro, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor. And the 13-megapixel front-facing camera is also doing wonders. On the rear-facing camera, I favor the 13-megapixel shot over the 50-megapixel shot. The 50-megapixel shot might be detailed, but the 13-megapixel shot is well balanced. It can record videos at 30 and 60 frames per second at Full HD, get shoot at hyperlapse, pro, food mode, slow mode, macro, night mode, and panorama. The video is quite good, and there's no form of any stabilization. If your hands are shaky, you might wanna get a tripod or a gimbal. The macro shots I don't like. The macro lens is practically useless on this device. Could have just switched to 50 megapixel and you'd get a better result. The battery life is not that great either. You can see it has 16 hours of battery life remaining, but I guarantee you it has less than 8 hours of battery life remaining. You get 25 watts of charging speed, which means you might get your phone fully charged within an hour and a half. It has dual SIM support and a micro SD card expansion, which is expandable to 1TB. It has a fast and secure fingerprint scanner, which I kind of like, and the not so secure facial recognition. You can get this phone for less than 3,000 rands or $150, which is great pricing. What do you think of this device? Do you own it? Let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you guys for watching and have a spectacular day.